Money don't get everything is true. What it don't buy that I can't use. I need some money. I need money, yeah. What I want. I need some money, honey. I need some money so bad. All of my bills behind. I need some money right now. I know your love is so good, baby. I need some money. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we all need some money.
Well, that's the deal. So, debates are... Let's just get right to this shit. Pull that down, Holmes. Meat, potatoes, and Similac. Let me say it again to you, Democrats. Meat, potatoes, and Similac. The people need to eat, not be eaten alive. And throwing pixie dust around is not going to get it done. Not in the middle of an economy that has not collapsed.
Agreed. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Karen, how are you?
Hi, Karen.
Princess Karen. Wolfman Bob's back.
Welcome back.
Hey, Joe.
Mannequin Joe's here.
You guys hear him? That's right. Oh, and Peter Shin's in the house. How'd you meet Peter here?
Who, me?
Yeah.
How did I meet you, Peter? Something when he was with Shinola, and I don't know. We just the Muhammad was that? No, we knew each other before then. We did. I think I don't know. Peter's just one of those people you just know.
Yeah, Peter's in here. He's documenting Detroit, taking some artistic black and whites, and I met him at Karen's get together last night at her house in the east side of the city, and that was real cool. You got nice friends.
Well, thank you.
And
thank you for being there.
It was really interesting to me. Talking to people about these debates. It's in our city. You know what? What do you make of this, Karen? Very mixed crowd, yours.
Right.
And I said, look, if Trump didn't talk shit, if you didn't think he was a racist shit talker, 80% of the country would probably vote for the guy.
They would, based on
they
what
would.
Exactly. And that's both scary and scarier to think that. But the reality is that's true.
That is true.
Because what's he talking about?
Well, I mean, he's talking about what a lot of people are thinking. I mean, on one hand, he is moving some things forward for a select few. But on the other hand, I mean, he speaks what, as he always has, what other people are afraid to say.
Well, like kick China in the ass. They've been eating us alive, right? Kick Mexico in the ass. That trade deal's terrible. No, you're not allowed to just bum rush the border and throw rocks at Border Patrol. Get in line. We're a good people. We need order. But we have to decide what we're doing with our own kids. Mr. Bernie, free college for everybody? Where are we getting that?
How are you going to pay for that?
But that's the thing, though, Charlie. I mean,
We haven't figured out first grade in Michigan, and we're talking
We haven't.
free college?
And do you remember when it was passed that if, in fact, you fail to read at a third grade level, they can't hold you back?
No, they can't.
They can't? Why?
I don't know, but...
Well,
it used to be that way.
No, that was relatively new. That was like last year, that if, in fact, you failed to read at a third grade level, I guess by the third. So what that does is set you up for failure, especially for kids in failing schools. No, who's our fact checker?
That is correct.
Look at that, Peter Shin. Not only a photographer.
You don't advance.
No.
You mean social promotion's a thing of the past?
They have they have a right to hold you back. So what that does is set you up for even greater failure. It's like, okay, instead of pushing you through, on one hand, it sounds like, okay, we're going to make sure that you get the education that you need. But then on the other hand, it's setting you up for double failure, because if you're not getting adequately prepared and you can't read, okay, so you're stuck in the third grade.
Well, what are they doing different if they hold you back?
That's a good question.
And then you get the same education, which didn't teach you to read in the first place.
So it's the Jethro Bodine method. You'll be 12 or 15 years old in the third grade. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I mean, seriously, why don't I hear that? Like, look,
Question.
We're regular people. We work. We're the ones going to pay for that, right? Why don't you speak to me like that instead of the grand pronouncements? You got 30 seconds to fix education and go. Shit.
people are impressed with rhetoric, and
I don't think they are. Those ratings took a nosedive.
Well, yeah, but everybody got the first debate when everybody got caught up on the the little zinger and the comeback that Kamala Harris had for Joe Biden, and she comes out with T-shirts the next day. Everybody was excited about how the lady from Hawaii kicked back on the background for Kamala Harris. They were talking about what's his name, Yang, the entrepreneur. I mean, so people get impressed, I guess, but they're not listening. I mean, they're not paying attention. Without congressional, senatorial support, a lot of those things won't happen. And it's just rhetoric.
Look, I'm watching them. I'm an educated guy. I'm into politics. I monitor the politics of this state. Okay, admittedly, I had a couple beers when I was watching, but I'm not quite sure I heard what the New York Times and the pundits are trying to tell me afterwards. Like Elizabeth Warren was really dynamite and won that. I was like, she did? And by the way, who amongst us is allowed to be on that wedding cake of a set that CNN put up in the middle of the parking lot of Comerica? Who of regular people?
Nobody.
Nobody. Guess who they gave the country as a representative of how Michigan's going? Jennifer Granholm. Jennifer Granholm, okay, doesn't live in Detroit. She lives in Berkeley.
Right.
Berkeley, California.
Yeah.
Not even Berkeley, Oakland County. What I mean, it's like they're robbing the process.
Well, she hasn't been here for 10 years.
And she was terrible.
Yeah.
And her time here was terrible. The state collapsed. Admittedly, it had a lot to do with outside forces, but you couldn't balance a budget. You know all the cronies she put in a place, like in Highland Park, and Kwame Kilpatrick's part of the machine she comes out of.
Mike Duggan was
Mike
part of that.
Duggan.
Mike
Mike
Duggan
Duggan
was
made
part of that,
Jennifer Granholm.
Yeah, so all that group
Giving monies to
old
big
politics.
ass corporations, right?
But I think, a lot of her failure was her inability or unwillingness to make a hard decision. I mean, she was
Exactly.
kind of like a waffler. And so I think that people, they probably took advantage of it.
What's she doing? Why is she doing the talking for us?
She was or has been a CNN correspondent since she left. So
Not a correspondent, a paid talking head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Widen it out a little bit.
Contributor.
Contributor. I'm sorry, that's the C word.
What does that mean?
The C word. Oh, this
No,
podcast just took a turn.
no,
Let's
no.
do it again. I've been, I did some stuff for our people, and thank you for listening. Right? We have the Albanian clique listening to us. A guy, downtown Lafayette, he's like, no bullshit news. I'm like,
Thanks
yes.
for listening.
I told you there was an older black guy that came up to me in a restaurant. He says, I love listening to you and Charlie. So
Yes.
people are listening.
And the factory floor.
Yep.
Yes. And we're nonpartisan down here. And you're not gonna dodge us. That clique here, whether Republican or Democrat, you don't dodge us. Because we're connected to the listeners. You know what I mean? And by the way,
And the listeners are the real people.
yeah, and we don't have to agree. I just hope you're listening so you can get the non-puffed up, wedding cake, girdle wearing,
subjective.
ridiculous stuff that you're getting on TV that none of us are watching. So it's 1 hour a week. Thank you for listening. You're supposed to go on iTunes. I don't even know. Just down, nobullshitnews.com. No BS News Hour.
Right.
.com. And then follow the instructions. That good, Joey?
Yep.
Oh, look.
iTunes, Google Play.
iTunes, Google Play, all of that.
Wherever you get your podcast.
Yeah, because we're rocking. This is pretty good, and it's because it's power to the people. Okay, so
We're not giving them bullshit.
well, here's the bullshit. Comeback City. I need to express to everybody, if you go to Grand Rapids, there's 7 construction cranes down there. Go to Royal Oak, Michigan. There's construction everywhere. Go to Ferndale. There's construction everywhere.
Farmington Hills.
You go to Dallas, Texas. There's construction everywhere. Money's cheap. I guess all downtowns are coming back, and I love these buildings being refurbished. Some cement being poured on the corridor, but Comeback City. If it's Comeback City, question. I wrote this in Deadline Detroit. What's today? Friday. So I did it Wednesday night before the debate. It landed. Where's Mike Duggan? Where's Captain Comeback? You figure if you turn Detroit around, which is harder than turning around the Detroit Lions, right? If you really turn this around, Why aren't you on a homecoming float with balloons and lemonade tanks?
When you've got all the Democratic presidential candidates in town.
Oh my God!
You should have been all over the place.
Well, you would be the biggest Democrat in America. Look what this guy did.
Now,
you should be running for president.
He came out. He wasn't side by side with Biden after your piece hit, because he wasn't anywhere to be seen. And I thought that was
all week long. So you're
all
saying,
week long.
Okay.
So when your piece came out, then all of a sudden he wasn't next to Biden, but he was in the group while Biden was being interviewed. But as everybody referenced Detroit, tried to make it seem as though their agenda would resonate with the concerns of Detroit and Michigan, it would seem that Mike Duggan, as the mayor of the city of Detroit, would have been front and center in this and saying, "Hey, see, look, this is what we're going to build on. This is for Biden. This is what we invested in, and this is what you're now realizing."
So what was the thought there? I mean, Jennifer Granholm. Excuse me, all respect to her service and attempt and all of this, but Jennifer Granholm, wouldn't that be Mike Duggan sitting in that chair?
Should be.
Should have been.
Mike Duggan is the head of the machine. It's not Whitmer. Mike Duggan's the head of the Democratic machine in Michigan. He's already endorsed Biden, right? So what's he trying to play nice now? Like, I want to be fair to everyone? You already said you're behind Biden. Why weren't you hugging babies? Why didn't you take him on a trip to the neighborhood? Why didn't you get on the bus that Joe gave us? Remember all the buses?
Yeah.
Joe Biden gave us all the buses. Why weren't you doing that? Why weren't you in a squad car?
Well,
I got to say this. Those buses were delivered based on a commitment that was made in the Bing administration.
Woo!
So those buses didn't have, that was just the continuation, just like the flipping of the switch for the lighting authority was already in place. They committed a Tiger grant, I think, of about $70 million for new buses, went to the White House, and that's just that's the fulfillment of that commitment. So it wasn't like, hey, we're going to go get something new. That commitment was already made.
Yeah, but that's what mayors do.
And that's fine.
Bankruptcy cleared the books.
This is clarity. This is just clarity.
For sure.
It's all set.
Because it's no bullshit news. The books were set up. The police were reconfigured. Kevin Orr hired James Craig, right? All the deals were done by others. The lights. Yeah,
right.
Okay. Still, that's politics.
Just clarity.
That's politics. But now you've been here 5+.
Well, why wouldn't you stand up and say, "Hey, look at me. I'm here."
Maybe because, which I wrote, maybe because, remember what Trump did to Elijah Cummings in Baltimore? He turned his Twitter cannon on him and said, "You're corrupt. Where's all the money we sent you? Where's all the money? Why isn't the neighborhood improving if we're sending you $15 billion a year?" And the Baltimore Sun seems surprised by the president's pronouncement and says, "Well, what are you talking about?" To which I say, that's your job. Now, if Trump decided turn it on Detroit, I know exactly how it went down.
How?
The day that I was out there, during these debates, there was a federal grand jury convened on the money that Joe Biden's people sent to Detroit to tear down the houses. We know about the federal money at the Detroit Medical Center when Duggan was running it. $30 million settlement for fraud and kickbacks.
Yeah.
We know about the long-running grand jury investigation into the contracts at the airport. We can talk about the HUD money that's now frozen because it appears it's been mishandled. This would be quite easy to do. All the community block grant money that the developers take and never pay back. The Q line that's, that they want us to pay for in the burbs with taxes on our homes. Right. It's easy to do. Look at Flint. That's why. That's what I think. And here's the thing. If you're going to win Michigan, and you have to win Michigan.
Yeah, he has to win Michigan.
Everybody's got to win Michigan.
Yeah.
You got to thread that needle. You got to go right through the eye of it. It's like the game of Operation. Your wire can't touch the sides. The math is so tight here.
If you're going to win Michigan, you got to win Detroit.
You got to win Macomb County.
You got to win Macomb County, but you got to win Detroit.
Macomb County votes at a higher rate.
And you got to have Detroit turn out for the vote.
You got to win Oakland County.
Well, and that's the thing, Charlie. You were saying that, Duggan is the head of the Democratic machine here in Michigan, but they didn't deliver Hillary.
He sure didn't.
No.
He sure didn't.
So I'm not so sure how much of a machine actually exists anymore.
Money, right. But that's what we're fighting. I know this. And I don't support a candidate. I won't do that. We'll play some clips because I got to be a pundit. That I don't want to be a pundit. I'm a member of this community. I refuse. Well, they say, what do people want to hear tonight? And I said, I don't fucking know what they want to hear tonight. I want to hear about some money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, what does Joe Biden need to do? Joe Biden need to get a message. Everybody, all of y'all, you need the message. We're afraid. The economy might be working. Nobody believes in the stock market. I'm talking to a couple of 70-year-old guys. They're thinking about pulling half their shit and putting it in precious metals. What are the auto workers thinking? You know what I mean? Like it's
as the Warren plant was announced that the engine plant was closing, because the plants are still closing. Manufacturing.
But the Warren engine plant's closing.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, they announced that during the debates on Tuesday, I think it was.
No.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Whoa, really?
800 workers or something.
Look that up, Joey, please.
So the Warren Chrysler plant?
Not the Chrysler plant. It's the engine plant.
The engine plant
for
Chrysler.
Chrysler.
Okay.
And they're
There's
closing.
a transmission plant. You're right. There's stamping plants.
Help me on this. I don't know. How does that play into the Chrysler plant expansion here on the east side of Detroit?
Well, it plays out to me like this. Assuming this is true, and I'm sorry, I should know that. Well, Bob, way to go. Here's how it goes. So you get $350 million in cash and abatements and tax breaks and property from the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan. A lot of hoopla about the jobs. And then you shut down a plant in Warren.
And those jobs will come here. And that's because remember,
well, they never added those jobs into the numbers.
If you listen,
only numbers they're giving.
Keep talking like those little messages that get thrown out. Those jobs, those people will be placed first, and then the remaining jobs will go to Detroiters, offered to Detroiters first.
Right, if they can qualify. Is that right, Joey?
If they right. If
GM transmission plant. It's not.
So it's not
GM.
GM's Warren transmission plant.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that was.
We had it all figured out, Bob G.
But still, that doesn't subtract from the fact that it's $350 million of public money. They anticipate the city of Detroit pulling in $350 million over 30 years. So it's a sum zero except for the jobs. And again, we're subsidizing all the jobs now. Hockey arena jobs and, skyscraper jobs. At some point, Comeback City cannot come back if you don't have money for police.
And that's true.
And you're paying police like bellhops.
And that, to me, is probably one of the places where you can immediately see the impact of an economic investment.
Bob, you got to go stand in the corner for that fake news. Fake-ass news.
Wasn't Chrysler, it was GM.
No wonder I didn't hear that because fake news.
Well, did you hear that the GM plant was closing?
Yeah, there was Poletown's closing.
They announced that months ago.
Yeah, and there's which transmission plant's closing?
The Warren transmission plant.
Yeah. Not the Chrysler, but the
Chrysler,
GM.
but the GM Warren
they
transmission
announced
plant.
that a couple months ago, I think. Well, we're gonna have a factory worker on the show. We'll talk to him about it, and he'll put it all straight, right? But let's do this again. Mike Duggan doesn't come out to be seen with Joe Biden till the morning after
the debate.
The debates, when everybody packed up and went home. He did during debates not even mention the mayor's name. Didn't even mention his name. We got that piece from the debate. This is from Wednesday night. This is Joe taking his bow.
This is Joe Biden.
I saved GM. We sent billions to Detroit. I got your buses.
In this state. Number three, I also was asked, as the mayor of Detroit can tell you, by the President of the United States to help Detroit get out of bankruptcy and get back on its feet. I spent better part of 2 years out here working to make sure that it did exactly that. We invested significantly in this city when transportation, anyway, the point is we've made significant investments in this state. I expect in this.
What? Didn't he mention the mayor again? I suspect. Keep playing.
That's all I got.
Oh, this is Joe. He says, I suspect that's why the mayor of Detroit endorsed me. His name's Mike Duggan, not Mike Dugan. Right? I'm telling you.
And you would get that right.
I'm telling you, I know factually. The federal corruption grand jury was meeting this week. It's heavy. Keep your eye on it. And listen, Michigan, what do we want? Roads, schools, a power grid, somebody held accountable, and people don't have $1,000 in their pocket. Half the people I talk to.
I saw that. That's pretty disappointing, especially since the economy is still anticipated to crash at some point.
Yeah.
Crash. Well, here, listen, before it does. Go to American Coney Island, celebrating 102 years, Detroit's oldest family-run restaurant, and one of the nation's first speakeasies. Yes, that's true. Did you know?
I like your shirt today.
Thank you very much. American Coney
made in
Island.
Detroit.
That's my place. Clean, wholesome, tasty, yummy, and one of the first speakeasies in America.
Nice.
Did you know that? In 1917, Peter,
I didn't know that.
Michigan banned alcohol 2 years before federal prohibition. And so Grace's grandpa said, hey, let's open a gambling parlor and a speak in the basement.
That's
Smart
where
guy.
Grace got her gangster from.
Yeah.
Because Grace is the original OG.
Oh, yeah.
You want a piece of Detroit? You want a piece of this? Head downtown to the corner of Lafayette and Michigan. It's that corner, the big red, white, and blue building. It's a landmark, freshly painted. The lights all work.
Clean.
Clean as a whistle and delicious. The open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The dogs snap when you bite them because that's a lamb skin casing, not a pig skin, not a cattle skin.
That's what it is, lambskin?
It's lamb, and that's why it gets crispy.
snap.
And they're tasty.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
And that dog is made specifically for American Coney Island, nobody else. Many other conies just get them off the shelf. You could probably buy them at the store, I won't mention. And the chili is made specifically for them by them.
It's delicious.
It's not mass produced. Visit Detroit's restaurant or the one in the D Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Or, hey, Dads, the Detroit Zoo. It's August.
Why do
And
you
it's-
always say dads? Like,
They got beer out there,
moms
too.
Take their kids to the zoo.
Well, they do take your kids to the zoo.
Drink beer too.
Well, goddamn right. There you go. Hey, mommy.
Come out and have a hot dog.
Nannies might grab a beer if they have to be bothered with a ton of kids.
No nanny. No nanny.
No nanny?
No, you got somebody else's kids. You don't get a beer. You just.
Oh,
That's
okay.
unacceptable. I'd be
Okay.
really mad. Okay, listen. Order a Coney Island kit straight to your door or a friend's door. Go to AmericanConeyIsland.com or head downtown. Hall Financial. Man, I'm checking home
got
prices.
money.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
This is...
Another boom.
Is this true?
It's crazy true.
It's true. Look, get yours now.
Yeah.
It's true.
Do not wait. If you're thinking, pull the trigger. And you know where you go. Hall Financial. They offer lower rates, better options, and that personal attention you want. And you do. Because that's the biggest investment of your life when you're talking about your home. The average refi takes 44 days. You don't want to wait. Hall Financial averages 19 days. Do the math. That's half the time. Email dhall at hallfg.com to get the paper moving. Or call 248-308-5000. I'm being serious. If you're going to do it, move. Don't wait like, ooh, I should have.
Now's the time.
Or maybe you just want
Burning
to
up.
take that equity out of your home, you know? Get some of that money. Shorten the length of your mortgage. You could be less than 3 weeks from saving money with Hall Financial. dhall at hallfg.com. Or, again, get your pencils, everybody, or rewind it on the No Bullshit News Hour. 248-308-5000. Tell them you heard it on No BS News because I appreciate him giving us and the Red Shovel Network a shot and a boost. The legal number here, I have to say, is NMLS 146-7435. I'm not sure why I have to do that, but it says it right here in this
Legal
page.
disclaimer.
That's it.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I guess it has to let you know that he's licensed and authorized to conduct the business that you are promoting.
God, you're beautiful. Wow. Jeez.
You
So
got your-
smart.
Well, thank you,
So
gentlemen.
smart.
Hall Financial. You won't be disappointed. Really. Do it now. All right, listen. I did a few talking head bits down there at Candyland with the debates, you know, and CNN's big wedding cake set and all the Buster Browns, you know, all the millennial guys doing, you know, media now. Two guys together. Two different reporters.
They have ties on.
Camera guys. They both had the blue blazer, the tie, the khakis, and brown shoes. I swear this brown shoe thing got to die.
I don't understand that, and especially brown shoes with like dark,
Blue pants or something. Yeah,
or black
I don't understand
pants.
it either.
And the stuff in their hair, and it was like, wow. I'm like,
Yeah,
hey,
the
handsome.
European cut, Charlie, the European cut that cuts at the ankle for the pants.
Yes.
Okay.
You saw him?
No, I just see it all the time. I know. Joey, do you wear those? No.
The skinny pants.
Oh, and these weren't any like wet Midwestern rednecks, because even when we're trying to like look good, the belt's a little bit, the color's off. I mean, the belt matched the shoes, bro.
Wow.
I'm talking. I don't know if there was cocoa, the color of those shoes, caramel, beach sand,
Peanut butter.
peanut
butter, there you
peanut
go.
brittle, peanut sauce. I know Peanut, the dude walk around,
not
8 Mile trying to get some
not
money,
that Peanut.
would not work for food. I know Peanut.
Not that peanut.
Yeah,
Charlie.
that color brown. Peanut on 8 Mile brown.
I'll never
None of
see
that.
him.
None of that was. So it was great. It was stupid.
Yeah.
It's
It was a feeding frenzy.
It's
for
a shit show. I wrote the whole book on it. It's repeating itself, right? Yammer, 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 yammer. Big talk, thick talk. It's like speak regular English, right?
Well, on TV, I'm going to tell you how it is.
Yeah, the polls show that you need to cut that needle through there, and will it be liberal? Will it move it to the center? It's like, oh Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus, man. So I did Fox News. They were talking about Baltimore. I'm like, I don't know Baltimore, but if he turns his cannon over here, man, we get some issues. And then maybe I got really hostile vibes too. Hostile vibes from the local politicos. The Democratic machine. People used to take my call. Now they're not returning them. We do have them on. We've had Congresswoman Tlaib and, Dave Bing and Bafficano. But that clique, that one holding on to power now, they're scared to answer a question.
Well, because they're scared.
Well, I mean, I don't think.
Because they don't have any answers.
Yeah, how about a real one? Fix the damn roads. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But we're 8 months in, madam.
Your roads are terrible.
What's up?
They are horrible.
Where's the power grid? I'm serious.
Well, and the only thing she said about fixing the roads is raising the gas tax 45 cents.
You mean a tax on the working and the poor?
Yeah.
Right?
Totally regressive.
Because when she's driving around in her limo, taxpayer-funded limo, right?
What's a truck, Charlie?
That's the same thing.
I know,
She's being
but I mean,
chauffeured.
Yeah, but when you hear people tend to think of the long stretch kind. It's
God,
a
It's a
Karen.
Suburban.
yeah, it is.
Come on, Karen. Don't
Okay, it's a limousine.
do that. Don't tell me how to talk. Say what I want to say. It's America.
It is your show. Go right ahead.
Oh, it's our show. It is our show. I have finally listened to one.
What did you think?
You're really smart.
No,
You're really, really smart.
no I'm not, Charlie.
And you're the Democratic political. You are a Democrat, are you not?
I don't know. I mean, traditionally maybe, but I've been told that I have some pretty conservative thoughts. So I would probably say I'm a conservative Democrat.
Yeah.
You vote your conscience.
I do.
Are you registered as a Democrat?
I am registered, but I have voted across party lines.
Well, you didn't
before.
answer that. Are
So-
you a registered Democrat?
Yeah. I
Okay.
guess.
Okay. I'm not. No, that's what you're talking
No,
about.
I guess
This
I'm
is my
trying
people
I'm
here.
trying to, yeah, I mean, no, I'm thinking, So yeah, but I try to vote for person over party.
Right.
I do.
I think that's the smart way to do it.
I don't do that. I try to vote substance. I try to vote a platform. Like I voted Libertarian last time because I'm not going Trump or Clinton. And you really think I was into Gary Johnson, who doesn't know a world leader and can't find Aleppo? I'm voting for a platform of, stay out of people's lives, don't mismanage the money, and I don't agree with everything they're about.
Right.
But I do know, and everybody should know, that if any third party gets 5% of the national total in the vote, they get federal matching funds
Right.
for the next election, like Ross Perot did.
Mm-hmm.
It's not useless to vote third party, and it is useless not to vote.
That's true. I agree.
Participate,
Gotta vote.
or you don't get to bitch.
I agree.
And you know what? You do get to bitch because it's America. Do whatever you want,
but
baby.
you should still vote.
You should still participate. Yeah.
I agree. Okay, so this is CBS. This is you can listen how it goes here.
Flint water crisis was put back on the national stage last night, albeit briefly. For more on that and other local matters involving Michigan, we have Charlie LeDuff in Detroit. He is the author of Detroit, An American Autopsy. Charlie, thank you so much for joining us. Let's start out with Flint. As you saw, there was mentioned, not very prominently, but I thought what Marianne Williamson said really struck voters or struck the audience really clearly when she said what happened in Flint would not happen in Grosse Pointe. She was really making, I think, a clear point that depending on how many resources you have,
rich
you
people
may
don't
be
get
more
fucked.
less affected by this kind of, environmental degradation.
Yes. I'm playing with you. Yes, of course. But see, here's the thing. There's a lot of money in poverty. There's a lot of money to be taken. And when the public's not informed, black, white, Democrat, Republican, they eat you alive. Nobody's even been charged in Flint. And quite frankly, let me say this. The media just re-engaged with Flint, and it was barely mentioned last night. It's an outrage. Let me tell you what's happening in Flint now. There's a war amongst the Democrats in Flint about corruption, collusion, and the swinging of the contracts to replace those pipes and fix the sidewalks. We've been living with this for 100 years. It seems insolvable. The Republican governor, the Democratic council members, the Republican contractors there. Everybody made money. Everybody's eating steak. And the people of Flint will never, ever trust their water. Would you? You wouldn't, whether you're getting a new pipe or not. It cost us $500 million. And you know who's paying for Flint? People in Detroit. Every time they flush the toilet, the sin, all that money went to the financiers. They didn't lose out on a bond when you're supposed to, when you take a risk with your investment. We in Detroit, who went bankrupt, flush our toilets and pay for the sin of Flint. So I'm glad we're talking about it. I welcome everybody. It's not a local story, it's a national story.
Well, and so, Charlie, what are you hearing, though, from voters there? Do they feel the Democrats are giving this issue enough attention?
Quite frankly, look, this is the truth from the streets, and I'm not a pundit. I am a citizen. They're demoralized. Nobody's talking about the Democrats and the Republicans and the debates. They're talking about their babies who've grown up not playing in a sprinkler. It's almost like I can see a big set here, it's like a big set. It's a division in the country between we who talk about it and those who live it. And I'm telling you, there's not going to be big ratings for this debate in Flint tonight, and probably not in Detroit. And it's here in Detroit because they're here in Michigan because you need us to take the White House. We're ground zero. And I want to hear about the power grid, the people in this parking lot. Half of them don't have $1,000 in their pocket. This is what we're talking about.
Yes.
Amen.
That was a profound answer.
Yes.
She was like, oh, my God, what am I going to do?
Yes.
But you're right, Charlie, on all of that. You're absolutely right.
You know how I know I'm right? Because, hey, you listeners, my brothers and sisters, my cousins, my neighbor, I talk to you. I know you. I live with you. You can't fool me. I go to Flint. I'm the one to help put that investigation together. They're fucked. And right now, Beto's going up there. I was in Flint tonight. Where were you last week or last month or last year or the last 2 years?
Yeah, right.
And you didn't report on the fact that there's a war there and Mayor Weaver and her gang of merry men are being accused of swinging contracts with all that pipe money to preferred people. The shit Mike Duggan's being accused of down here. Like, wait a minute. And we get these big pronouncements, big statistical arguments about Obamacare. Right? All I know about Obamacare is this. Price went up. Mm-hmm. When that was coming through, and I was like, hey, I support that, right? Because they sold it to me as it's going to slow down medical inflation. If we get our act together and we group stuff, you can drive down the price of healthcare. That's how it was sold to me. What it ends up being is 20 million people are covered that weren't, which I'm happy for. But
you got to pay.
The price went up. And when you leave your job, the price of being on the exchange was higher than Cobra used to be. It didn't work.
The intention, I think, was good.
Excellent.
Well, it was
excellent.
It was a starting point.
Yeah, but nothing. I mean, it's so convoluted. But the medical industry, the insurance industry, most industries are just shakedowns. I mean, they
Yeah.
are. It's all about the money. You
Yeah.
can't find anybody that cares about your collective health. Even if your doctor cares, because the process that they have to go through takes away the time and, to me, almost the interest or the intent to take care of you.
And they own the process.
They own the process.
And the governor's father was a healthcare executive, a big one. And
Blue
so,
Cross, you're right.
right. And so when you talk about, oh, well, look at that, the black-run Democratic cities, Baltimore, Detroit, and, you know, the corrupt Chicago, I'm like, wait, whoa. Who runs Wall Street? Wow, we really lost our ass with those guys.
Yeah. Still losing our ass.
Who ran the Joint Chiefs of Staff and sent us over to Iraq with no armor on the Humvees and select non-bid companies like Halliburton paying, you know, companies in general paying kickbacks, and it's estimated $60 billion was stolen from soldiers and taxpayers, right? Who ran the mortgage companies? Facebook.
What about Boehner?
Rich white guys.
What about Boehner, who has a vested interest in the cannabis industry?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody talks about that. I mean, this dude left as Speaker of the House, and he's highly vested
In weed.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's vested in weed. Then why didn't you move, good sir, to use the pen, right? And just decriminalize that thing.
Yep.
Just take it right off all the lists.
He's going to continue to make money from it, just like Trump's friends from the privatization of the prison system. I mean, Eric, like you said, Charlie, there's money in poverty. People who make money off of people who don't have it.
Well, no, and you know what?
They make a lot of it.
And whose money was that they took? It was the great vast middle that's the last one paying anything. We, the middle, pay for the poor.
It's true.
You know?
We, the middle, pay the rich.
It's getting that way, isn't it?
They're taking our money, yeah.
The rich pay a lot. Let's not get this wrong. They do.
Like Jeff Bezos?
Amazon
He didn't pay any income tax.
He didn't pay. That's what I'm saying. So, no, that's not true across the board.
No, well, I'm
We
just
paid
saying
more taxes than he did.
Numbers wise, you know, like I'm not even going to go there, but the top sliver we always like talking about.
1%?
Yeah, pay about, you know, what the next 30% pay. You know, it's like that. Like the rich do pay a lot.
Well, they got a lot more to pay.
Yeah, that's what's called a progressive tax. Everybody wants it to zero out, and I'm like, I don't know. Seems to me today like a lot of the rich aren't getting rich in a wholesome, legal, talented way.
Socially conscious.
I'm totally about
There you
people
go.
being rich and being able to hold on to their money and really earn it. But now it's contracts with the government and lawyers, and no offense to lawyers, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
Well, and he's got a huge tax cut, too, that
they
we're
did.
paying for on the backs
Right.
of the middle class and poor. We're the ones paying for it.
well, our kids are really going to pay for it, and
And
that's
grandkids.
and I think that's what I'm really about. That's why I'm an independent, you know. But getting back to it, all the bloviating and makeup, and nobody bothered when these debates were done to talk to people. Nobody went to Macomb County that I saw. That's where the thing flips. So, hey, Brian, you there?
Yes, I am.
My man, dude, introduce yourself to the audience.
Well, my name's Brian Pannebecker. I'm a Ford Motor Company employee, about 25 years with Ford. I also worked 11 years for Chrysler Corporation, the old Chrysler Corporation, when they were based in Highland Park before Mercedes bought them and took them over, and then Fiat took them over, and, you know, any other interests that have bought them and taken them over. So I've worked for the auto industry for a total of about 35, 36 years here in Detroit. I was born in Detroit, and I was raised about a mile from where I'm standing right now at the Ford Sterling plant. So the auto industry has been a big part of my
Where's
background.
the Ford Sterling plant?
It's in Sterling Heights, Michigan, about 10 miles north of Detroit.
What
right
county
in the,
is? What county for people that don't know? Is
Macomb. It's
Ooh.
right in the heart
Ooh.
of Macomb County,
Ooh.
right in the center of Macomb County.
Ooh, so you're like a white dude from Macomb County, probably raised by a Democratic household, I'm guessing.
Yeah, my mom had a picture of John F. Kennedy, framed picture up on the wall when I was little.
Shit, my mom slept with John F. Kennedy, bro. So God.
She may have, I don't know. But But, after he was assassinated, I was pretty young at the time, but I do have memories of my mom crying, and we had a picture of JFK up framed on the wall in the living room. And my grandfather said something to me, Charlie, one time that really stuck with me. He was from Missouri, which their state motto is, we're the show me state. Don't tell me, show me. And he told me when I was about 18, 19 years old and ready to start voting, he said, Brian, I used to vote Democrat. The Democrats used to be conservative, and he said that party left me. And this was back around 1980, so the transition had already changed.
So your grandpa was from Macomb County too, right?
Yeah, he lived and worked here in Macomb County. He was a machinist.
So let me get here. Here's the deal. Like the Reagan Democrats? First it was the silent majority. Then it's the Reagan Democrats. That's your family. Things are slipping away. And then you're a Republican, aren't you?
Now I become a conservative. I don't like to identify myself as a Republican because I'm really not happy with a lot of the Republicans, the vast majority of them.
Why is that?
I think they're all out for their own, to take care of themselves. But there are some, conservative ideologues that stick to their fiscal principles that, are concerned about the debt, the $22 trillion debt that we've run up and how that's going to affect our kids and our grandkids.
Well, let me go here, brother. Wait, hold on, bro. Let's go like this, though. So first, we haven't given the rest of your title, which is you're the founder of Auto Workers for Trump.
Correct.
Okay, so, Trump and the tax cut has blown a huge hole in the deficit and the budget, and you don't like that.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But, there is an argument to be made that we're never going to tax our way out of the national debt. 2/3 of the debt, Charlie, is Social Security and Medicare. That's, the biggest portion of our spending. They call it non-discretionary. We don't have any choice over it. It's got to be paid out. It's, the people have earned it. They've paid into it. The government's obligated to give it to them. Only 1/3 of the national budget is discretionary, where they vote on the budget and they pass, what they're going to increase spending on, what they're going to decrease spending on. So I'm not happy. I don't know what the solution is, but there is an argument that says the only way to reduce the national debt is like it was reduced when Bill Clinton was president, and that's to have a long period of growth where the economy expands so much and so fast.
But watch this. Watch this, brother. Okay. That's one portion of it. The other part of that is it's because George H.W. Bush 1, had the balls to tell the American people he had to raise taxes. Bill Clinton benefited from a couple things. A very courageous political move by Bush that cost him the White House, and the invention of things like the cell phone, the internet being laid, the laptop computer. So we had innovation. We had new products. I don't know what we have now. So you're building, what do you build where you're at?
Rear ends, truck rear ends, primarily for the Ford F-150.
Okay, those are selling well.
Like hotcakes, brother. Number one selling vehicle in the United States for the last 30-plus years.
Really? Even in the downturn, it was selling well?
Absolutely. It was always the number one selling vehicle in the United States for well over 30 years.
I'm sorry, hold on a second. I got to yell at my staff here. What the fuck are you guys watching? What is this? Majority of House Dems now support impeachment inquiry. Guys, we're doing a show. Turn that on.
I'm listening.
I was listening.
Sorry, guy. It just annoys me.
I'm not watching anything.
You hear that, Brian? You see,
I don't know what
it's the white noise on TV. It's the white noise, right? Listen, and listen. Don't you bullshit me. Don't do it, right? Because just don't do it. Because I get mad when I get bullshit and no bullshit news. You're in the factories. Are you even a member of the UAW anymore? Do you pay dues?
I resigned, and over a matter of principle, Charlie. I was one of the leading advocates for right to work in Michigan, and I know a lot of people it has a bad connotation for them, but let me tell you why.
Okay, but Bob here is wearing his NABIT union shirt. He's a union.
I am. Okay. Proud union member.
So you two go at it.
Okay. you may have heard something about Mr. Jewell being sentenced this coming week to prison. You may have heard some.
Wait, Mr. Jewell is who?
He's a former vice president over the Chrysler, vice president for Chrysler
UAW
in the UAW, and he had made some deals. He was driving around. Him and Holyfield, General Holyfield's wife, were driving around in $200,000-$300,000 imported sports cars because Chrysler was paying them off, and then UAW was going easy on them. You know, Chrysler has two-tier part-time workers now. They start out at $16 an hour, and I'll tell you why. It's because the UAW sold the membership down the road. They're hiring in at $16 an hour. Bernie Sanders wants to get the national minimum wage raised to $15 an hour. So Chrysler is only getting their workers $1 an hour more than the minimum wage to hire in. And that's because the UAW was in bed with corporate bigwigs because they were more worried about padding their own bank book than they were about taking care of the membership. And that's why I fought for right to work. Because
you felt that your government in your work life, you know, your representatives, were taking bribes.
Exactly.
And not looking out the best for you.
The only way we can hold them accountable, Charlie, is to withhold the money that they were extorting from us. And a lot of that money was going in their own pocket. You know, a big portion of the money that we pay them in dues goes to political activities. It doesn't go towards the workers, the training, things that it's supposed to be going to. And that's been going on for the last 20 or 30 years. So that's why I fought for right to work, because the workers now have a weapon. We have some leverage. We can stand up against our elected representatives in the union and say, look, you guys are corrupt. Government. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and we're going to quit paying you.
Okay, now, so you're pushing for Trump on the floor there. Two questions.
Yep. I don't have to push very hard. I think you won my plan.
You think are you being honest?
I'm being 100% honest. There's always been 40% of the UAW membership that voted Republican because they're conservative guys. They deer hunt. They want lower taxes because they're making good money, and they wanted a conservative to represent them in Washington. And when Trump, just like when Reagan came along, Charlie. You mean
like they're deer hunting and they're conservative? You mean they're white guys?
I deer hunt and I'm a white guy.
Bob deer hunts and he's a white guy. So
okay, but I'm saying the Second Amendment. You know, they want Second Amendment rights. They don't want the government telling them that they can't own certain types of weapons. They may shoot at a gun range for sport. They don't want the government telling them you can't keep guns in your house to protect your family. Turn all your guns in, and then the only people who have guns are the criminals.
Right, but government never said that. Government hasn't said that, and everybody knows. Well, hold on. Now, hold on. Now, you can have all the time you want, but let me talk to you. Nobody's ever said they're taking. No one ever said that, because if you try taking people's guns, then you really do start a war. You'll start it with Democrats.
It's incremental. It'll be incremental.
But I don't know, man. You know.
Well,
that's unrealistic.
Do people need AR-15s?
Wait, we're talking about the plant here. Wait, we're not doing gun. Wait, we're doing automobiles. So what has Trump okay.
But let me finish one point then, since you got on the subject of guns.
You got us on the subject of guns, Brian.
Do you know why the Second Amendment was put into the Bill of Rights? It wasn't so people could deer hunt. They had just fought a revolution against the oppressive government. That's why we're allowed to keep guns. That's why we need AR-15.
You mean, wait a minute, Brian, time out. You mean just in case we got to go to war with our government?
You ain't lying.
Holy shit. At least it's honest. But
we're about due for one.
See, but that scares the shit out of me. I'm not for that. I don't. But hey, that's honest.
Hey, I'm not telling you you have to be. I'm telling you why the Second Amendment is in the Bill of Rights.
No, I got to get a goddamn weapon of that caliber because you nutbags are trying to knock down the government that I don't want you to. I want you to use the ballot box.
Well, the problem is they're not using that weapon against the government. They're shooting up kids in schools and people in public
no,
places. There was just a mass shooting the other day.
Yeah, but watch this.
And you know what? You can't shoot.
NRA member.
Hold on, wait, hold on. Let Bob go. Let Bob go here, Brian. Let Bob go.
Well,
here.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, stop scowling and say something.
And I'm a gun owner, and I've got several guns. I've got my hunting rifles. I've got my handguns. I don't feel as if anybody needs to have an AR-15 because you know what? These mass shootings, like there was one just last week, 4 people were killed, 12 people were injured. The guy had an AR-15. Well, you can't do that with a pistol,
right?
You know, so people don't need that kind of gun.
Brian, watch this. Let me run this by you since we're doing guns, and let's just pretend I'm on this debate stage. And you're a normal guy. Listen to me, right? I say this,
right?
Okay. Oh, we're not taking anybody's guns. But there's going to be now a moratorium. We got 90 days. Remember the assault rifle ban?
Right.
Remember, Brian? Okay. Do you know that machine guns, fully autos, you're not allowed to make a machine gun, nor are you allowed to own a machine gun without, you can only buy a machine gun manufactured before 1968. You can't have them. Nobody's bitching. You can't have them. What if I said this? In 90 days, you're no longer allowed to sell an AR-15. But you got 90 days. Go ahead and get your AR-15. Go get 50 of your AR-15s. After that date, you get to keep your AR-15, but you don't get to sell it, and you don't get to transfer title. And when you pass away, then that weapon is melted down. Is that at least some kind of middle ground we could start talking about?
Well, yeah. I mean, that you can start with any type of negotiation you want. All I'm saying is Constitution is what we're supposed to be.
No doubt.
That's supposed to be the supreme law of the land, and it guarantees that you can keep and bear arms.
Yeah, but watch this, bro. Here's the thing. You know the Bill of Rights, right? Right, yeah. The Bill of Rights? Those 10 Bills of Rights were the first change of the Constitution. The Constitution is fungible, and we can make the law anything we want it to be if enough of us want to change.
With it, yeah.
That's right. So let me go back to this.
You used not to be able to buy beer.
That was excellent.
And they changed it.
What has Trump done that has improved the life of the auto worker? What progress have we made here where Karen, she keeps pointing at the mic and going, he's crazy.
Brian and I butt heads on Let It Rip. But what has it done to improve?
It's Karen Dumas, Brian.
Hey, Brian. To improve your life. How has Trump improved your life?
Well, he reduced the amount of federal taxes I pay out of my paycheck every week. And Karen, let me ask you a quick question. How much money does the government have of its own? How much money does the government have? How much wealth has it created and earned?
The government itself?
Two different questions.
Yeah, the federal government.
You tell me. I don't know.
None.
Well, they don't. They
none.
collect taxes.
Fiat currency, Federal Reserve, Illuminati.
The federal government takes money from people like me and you and Charlie and anybody else and gives it to other people. That's the government can only give for anything the government gives to one individual, it has to take from another individual. And I would submit that the people it's taking from are productive. They're entrepreneurs and businessmen and workers and people who create wealth by working.
And they're giving
it to other people in the form of some type of government benefit or program.
Yeah.
And
well, we do, yeah. Okay. Well,
so the more of my
is that, wait, I thought this was about he's good for manufacturing.
I thought we were talking about guns.
He is good for manufacturing. You know what you see the battle he's going through right now with China. He already went through it with Canada and Mexico.
But we got nothing signed.
No, nothing signed. You know why? Because the Democrats have the majority in Congress now, and they will not ratify the agreement, the USMCA, United States-Mexico-Canada agreement.
Is that thing really that good?
It was a big improvement over NAFTA.
Yeah, but is it really that good? I mean, like,
no, it could be better.
What'd you say?
It could be better.
Okay, it could be a lot better. But it guarantees 40% of the plants make $16 an hour, the workers there?
Right, in Mexico.
No, 40% of all the products have to be made in a plant that pays at least $16 an hour.
Right, which will force Mexico to increase their wages in order to keep those jobs down there.
Well, I care about Mexico.
And a lot of jobs will flow back to the United States.
Well, I care about Mexico. You know what you just said?
It drives wages up.
Yeah, but it's just like, okay, it's $16 an hour, $1 more than the burger flipper. It's still like a two-tier wage, the second-tier worker wage that you were just bitching about. That's all we got?
Right,
I want more than that, bro.
I do too, Charlie, but the table is tilted so much towards Mexico because they pay their workers so little that if we can force them to start paying their workers more, there won't be as much incentive for Ford and Chrysler and General Motors to relocate their plants down there.
The table's not tilted towards Mexico. The table's tilted towards corporate interest. That's who's making out in this.
Labor costs are drawing plants and jobs down there.
Yeah, no doubt. Look, because we figured out there's third world labor to exploit.
That ship sailed years ago.
While the first world worker has become a secondhand shopper. Brian, that's where we agree there, right? But here's the thing.
That ship didn't sail. That ship only sailed because people let Bill Clinton signed NAFTA into law.
No doubt, but George Bush was peddling it before Clinton. It's all of them.
Oh, I know.
All of them.
Like I told you, I don't let the Republicans off the hook. They all sold us down the river. But Trump said, enough. This should have been fixed years ago. Now he's trying to fix it, but the Congress will not ratify the agreement that he negotiated with Mexico and Canada.
Let me go like this. Last question here. This is a deep philosophical question, okay, about the Reagan Democrat and the McComb Trump Republican. Okay, ready for this?
Sure. Yeah.
For real. Tell me, listen to this, and I mean this in the right way. Look, way back when, the Republicans realizing they're gonna lose. They need the silent majority. They need the white working class to maintain themselves as a party. So what they really sold, let me finish and you correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you agree, was affirmative action. Right? Why is a black guy going to get my job, right? And what affirmative action was designed to do was to reverse the fact that black guys had to be second in line, and now the government decided somebody else had to be second in line, and it's completely not fair. So that's what they were really talking about: silent majority, your values, fairness. And then the working class white guy, after many years of being in bed with the country club Republicans, realizes they never delivered that. That what they really delivered was never-ending wars. And I know a lot of guys from Macomb County that went to those wars, fought them.
Yep.
Your job went to Mexico. Your house became worthless. We're living in a bubble economy. And that's why a lot of people flipped, and then they flipped over to Trump because they really left the Republicans. Is that right?
Yeah, a lot of that I agree with, Charlie. What I would say is I don't think Trump, you can't put him into a category. You know, the Republicans fighting against a lot of the things Trump
I know, but I just want to, is that about right, though, what I said?
A lot of it.
Okay, cool.
I mean, that would take an hour to.
Oh, it'd take books and books and books. But I'm from here, and that's what I know. Here.
Yeah. The Republicans don't get any compliments from me. I'm sick of Republicans. I don't call myself one. I'm a conservative, and I'm a Trump supporter because he's actually fighting for the common man. And there's a big mess.
What about all the crazy shit he says? You know what I mean?
All the what?
All that crazy shit he says, some people call
crazy
it
racist shit.
Yeah, a lot of. What do you think of that, man? You ever shake your head and go, "Dude, shut the fuck up"?
Well, like when he repeated exactly what Elijah Cummings had said about Baltimore, about it being rat infested and crime ridden, and then when Trump says it, he's called a racist because nobody wants to admit that he's right.
How about that's true? We were talking about the graft in the big cities earlier in the show. What about? Go back to where you came from. What about I love Hispanics and he's tweeting a taco bowl, that kind of shit. You ever just
Look, I'm not gonna defend a lot of the the rude, crude comments Trump makes. All I'm saying is his policies, the people he's appointed or nominated to the Supreme Court, tax reform, trying to seal our borders so that we don't have illegal immigrants pouring across there, taking jobs from American citizens. Those are things that I love, and the people I work with in Macomb County love, and we're going to support this guy. And mark my words, Charlie, Karen, he's getting reelected. Take it to the bank.
All right, brother. Thanks for the time. Get back to work. Stop leaning on the fucking
Charlie.
shovel. You're on the clock. I know you are. Now see you, bro.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, thanks a lot. Nice to talk to you guys. Bye-bye.
He's still on the clock. Listen, ADR Consultants, providing full business construction management and IT consulting services for your company, municipality, and law enforcement agency. Karen, go ahead.
Oh, no. I'm speechless.
ADR, experienced overseeing more than $250 million in private and public construction projects in 2001, much of them in Detroit. This man has a deep window into what's going on, where the money goes, why it doesn't get where it needs to go.
And where it should go.
Yeah, and he stood up to it. So listen here, if you need to reduce costs, you need to re-engineer processes or find better vendors, this is a baller, this guy. We're not talking little houses. Hear me. They've saved clients millions. ADR consultants are experts in procurement. I mean, federal procurement. Compliance, federal compliance, state compliance, local compliance, minority participation, what's that, Section 3? That's HUD money. The man knows. He's honest, ethical, smart. Call Barry Ellentuck at 248-318-9424 for a consultation. Get the job right, get the job done on time and on budget. ADR Consultants, 248-318-9424. Luke Nowacki. I talked to Luke Nowacki, personal financial services man. Takes care of some municipalities, banks, public safety unions. He does it all. We talk about the economy. We talk about the prime points, right? We talk about GDP. Right? We do. He's smart. He's helped me consolidate my savings accounts, me personally. Like the man is sharp. He cares about the community, and you will see him, and
help you make some money.
You'll see him if you're a police officer, and he donates a lot of money to he didn't want me to say. Never mind. I talked to him. That's all I got to tell you.
Good guy.
And maybe you're a big time. Well, I taken advice from my family, my daughter's future. I don't trust anybody with that.
Right.
And I find him to be smart, and we'll drive for 45 minutes, be talking on the phone about the world economy and what he sees coming down the road. And none of us really know. You have an advisor. You don't have to take his advice, but it's good to, like Karen said, you got to start.
But you said, certain people. Everybody has to do that, Charlie.
They do.
I mean, people don't understand, no matter what you make or what you don't. You have to take control of your financial future, and you can do that.
And listen, I'm talking to and look, everybody's my brother and sister out there. I don't like to divide and put people in categories and, rich, middle class. Human beings. I go to the Tim Horton. I just do my unofficial poll. Who in here's got $1,000 cash in the bank? Mm-hmm. Who's got $1,000 at their disposal? 4 out of 7 don't.
Yeah.
That's scary.
They don't.
It is scary.
You don't got $1,000. Goddamn. We better hope the federal government gets it together with what Brian was talking about, the non-discretionary spending, that Social Security. That's all we all got.
Yeah.
That's what this is really about. So, you don't got to worry about if you're a big-time city official who's traveling in an entourage, and maybe it's not a limousine, Karen, but it's chauffeured.
Fine clothes.
Maybe you can hook up your girlfriend with the government contracts, your pals. Get around the procurement laws. But if you're not among the elite or those hanging on to the machine
and the coattails,
right, going to sell yourself out, who you're one of the pals whose pocket's getting fat on the taxpayer's back. Well, all of us are going to have to provide for our own retirement and theirs. Yeah. Now, look, man, if you have questions, whether you're on the right track, simple. Just try. I know everybody's got it written down. I got to do that. Do that. And you begin by calling Luke at 248-663-4748. Grow your assets from pension planning to college savings plans. Your politicians are depending on you to fund theirs. Luke Nowacki, 248-663-4748. Here comes the legal stuff. Securities and Investment Advisory Services offered through Royal Associates Inc., member of FINRIS, IPC. Royal Associates Inc. Own and operate under design or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent Royal Associates Inc.
That's the audio fine print.
Knock that out.
Nice.
All right, listen, man. We're getting long in the day here. I don't know what we got. We sent Chicken Joe DeMarco, the pride of the University of Specs Howard's. What is that place called, dude?
School of Media Arts.
What is it, Specs Howard?
Specs Howard.
School of Media Arts, not a university.
No.
Okay, but Joe's still the pride.
He went to Specs Howard for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're about ready to learn what they've taught him. So I said Joe, because Joe and I, we talk. And I'm like, Joe, you can't send an hour of tape. You have to start editing your stories, putting some narration in there.
Well, and you did it. You know what the good parts are. Just put in the good parts.
He gets confused. I got to walk. We scream at each other for an hour, and he did this, and somebody stole my car. Okay.
What was the outcome?
I don't know. So here it comes. But let me just announce, we are going to be launching a special programming with Chicken Joe DeMarco. Chicken Joe DeMarco's disappearing Detroit. Joe, born, bred, raised, still lives in Detroit.
Yep.
They're closing his schools on him, right? His neighborhood's all ripped down. Joe thinks it's a plot to remove him and his memory from the face of the earth. He thinks they want to get rid of Joe DeMarco.
They probably do.
Can you blame him? So, anyway, we send Chicken Joe DeMarco downtown to interview the media covering the debate. I got my fingers down.
CNN studio over there, kind of sweet looking. An enclosed stage, basically. A big stage with glass windows all the way around. Set up like a TV studio inside. Who are you with?
New York 1.
Okay, I'm Joe DeMarco with No BS News Hour.
Okay.
And I'm just out here covering the coverage, so to speak. What are y'all covering? What are you seeing?
I'm sorry. I would love to talk to you, but I just can't do it.
How you guys doing?
Not bad.
Who are you guys with?
We're with an NBC affiliate.
Okay.
Sorry, we can't do any interviews.
So, this is really heavy security for the news media. There's not VIPs back here other than you. But
I wouldn't go that far.
Why is the security so heavy, so tight around the media?
Sorry, we can't talk to you. Can't do interviews.
Really? Why is that? You get in trouble?
Can't do interviews.
I mean, I'm just informally
D-bags.
talking to the media about the coverage. That you're just covering just this. Have you been around the city, seen any other parts of the city?
Sorry.
You make a good politician.
Wow.
What's your name? Chris Daniels?
I'm just a guy.
Who are you with?
CGTN.
What's that?
China Global Television.
China.
Joe,
Oh, that's good. You're exactly who I want to talk to. Foreign
Wicked
press. This thing is happening in downtown Detroit, the most heavily protected area in town.
Is he taking a
right?
shower here?
So naturally, you would think, wow, Detroit, this is great. Detroit's wonderful. This is what the mayor wants you to see.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, hey, we traveled outside this Golden Mile where you'll see, if you leave this central area,
Joe, you're
you'll
talking
find
a lot.
Abject poverty. Poverty and desperation.
Destroyed.
Right. the
It's
real
not Detroit. It's destroyed.
Right.
That's how I call it. Because it's destroyed. It's
Right.
destroyed.
So you're observant enough to know this is bullshit. And
Hey, this is not bullshit, because I think they're trying to revive the city. Yeah, that is good. That they're trying to bring people. What they need to do is do the same also in those neighborhoods that need it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because there's
But this
like
is what they do all the
60 or 70% of the population of this city is really low income.
Right.
I've seen it because I go and report many times in many neighborhoods around here, and I'm Colombian, and I see that, and I'm like, I cannot believe that exists in a first world.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Huh.
That's interesting.
Wasn't bad.
No, but he should have pressed those other guys a little harder.
Well, here's the thing.
Because they're out there asking people questions, too. What do you mean you're not going to talk?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The Colombian guy's got some balls.
Yeah?
He's from Colombia.
Yeah, right? I will tell you right now. It's a destroy. We need to do something. Right? Wow. Here's the guy from NBC affiliate. Sorry, man.
Can't talk.
Can't talk, man.
Can't talk.
Sorry.
But did they not want to talk to Joe just because, of their interpretation of maybe his appearance? Do you know what I'm saying? People
Are you saying Joe looks like a bum? And
no, I'm not. But I'm saying, you talked earlier about the suits and the brown shoes and
he
the
was
matching
wearing a
belt.
suit, I think.
His belt match? Maybe.
Oh,
that
you
was
mean
it.
Joe? Yeah, Joe looks like a rag ass.
No, he just looks like an average guy. And I'm saying, he's pretty, kind of scruffy looking. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but people tend to, discard the average person or if the person doesn't look up to their standards. So if I had walked up to them and asked, would they have talked to me? Would they have talked to you? Or did they just not want to talk to Joe?
Or could it be corporate says
it could be corporate
you're
as
not
well.
allowed to give interviews, or it could be you're just afraid of corporate saying you can't give interviews.
That's true because they kick people to the curb pretty quickly.
So what are they doing on TV then?
Asking questions.
Like doing the same thing that Joe is doing.
Yeah.
Right, but I can't give you my opinions, but isn't that what you guys are gonna do?
Well,
you interview a person, said this is what they had to say.
I've been approached out on the street, working for Fox, and people come up and, hey, they want to talk to you. And some of them have other been reporters. And I've always talked to them, but I preface what I say. Well, I speak for myself. I'm not speaking for Fox. I'm speaking for Bob Shuttlebar, which the NBC guy could have done. Because they could certainly have a policy that says, hey, you're not allowed to talk to the media or whatever.
Well, now what the fuck is that?
Or he could have given a BS answer and said, you know what, I'm excited to be in Detroit. I haven't seen all of it, but hopefully I'll have the time to look around.
Yeah,
or he could have given him a courtesy.
Or he's looking at Joe going, this dude's a nut. If I give him anything, he's not going to go away.
Did he have on his chicken suit?
I don't know.
That may have been it.
I don't know, but what was it like? What was that last interview? Like, he have a plastic bag wrapped around the microphone?
I don't know what that was. Some kind of wicked buzz.
It's like, and it was a good interview, but here's what happens in life. You can't use that, Joe. We
didn't have that class.
Bob and I have cut a lot of stuff together, right? Bob and I have been in riots, and Bob and I have been. You get good
down the Rouge River.
We've been up. Oh yeah, and it's just if it's not technically right, especially with sound, you don't use it.
Right.
But he's a gamer.
Oh
he's
yeah,
getting good.
He is good. He's not afraid to ask questions.
No.
Not afraid to talk to people.
I actually,
that's half the battle.
I think he's like I think he's probably the most hard-edged guy in the Detroit media market when it's coming to speaking to power. It's easy to speak to, some shitty contractor, right? But to speak to power like he does, I think he's really this is working. I mean,
well, and he's going places that no other media outlets are going.
Do you think, Bob and Mannequin Joe, do you think we should string a little greatest hits of Joe? Like, remember when he got Gabe Leland, the indicted city councilman?
Oh, that was great.
Remember he's at the police meeting with the chief and he's drilling him on the stats? Yeah. What else did he do?
Well, and he's tried to get Duggan. He's tried to get Duggan.
No, he's done. What else he done? Man.
He delivered when he was trying to. No, that was great.
Oh, Sabri, man, the
Eric
Wayne
Eric
County
Sabri,
treasurer.
Yeah, that's right, Wayne County treasurer.
I mean, there's a couple more. He's like.
Then he did the guy from DTE.
He did that DTE. Gorgeous Jerry went out to his house. Yeah, I mean, Joe's like just a couple of simple questions, sir.
Yeah,
I think we got to do that, and I don't know why no one's called Joe about. Hey, man, why, if they could partner him up with somebody. I wish we could partner him up with somebody. I don't want to spoil Joe, though. He thinks he deserves a camera crew.
Let's get him one.
Sure.
Peter, you up for the challenge?
Hey, Peter, here, come over here on this mic.
Maybe Peter's up for the challenge. He's got a good eye, a great camera.
Yeah, can you work a video camera?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's that? Put you.
Sure thing.
Can you edit?
No, I cannot edit.
Oh fuck.
I can.
Oh fuck. Okay. It's in. Then you in?
Sure.
We'll hook you up with Joe.
Perfect.
The contrast. That's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to see what we're going to do with Peter here. We're going to be like...
Peter's
Piper,
got this nice hat.
Peter the Chin.
Exactly.
Peter the Chin. Chingante. Okay, so you're in.
Sure.
All right, Joe, you got your cameraman. All right, we're going to... Okay, excellent. All right, well, everybody. Running late. Hey, Peter, you're in for real?
Absolutely.
All right, and thanks for coming in. You getting any good pictures?
I did good.
Did you get a picture of the mannequin?
You know it.
All right, listen, everybody. Vote your conscience. Do as you wish. Try to love one another. And, sometimes when the Democrats are in town, I feel a little soulful, a little funky, a little 1960s. Remember, this not the 1960s, but just reminds me of Ma. Remember, Ma? Remember you had that 8-track? I was a little boy and you used to spray the gray in your hair, actually spray it in your hair. And you had that tanning lamp.
Soulful.
Marilyn McCoo, bro. My mom was hip. Still is. Really smiling, Bob. It's making you happy, isn't it? Oh, you're watching the video? They're gorgeous, aren't they?
It's something else. 1969.
And Whitey was on the moon. 500,000 American soldiers in Vietnam. And we still ran a surplus in the United States. Now we're running 300 billion. Power don't work. Schools don't work. And China's on the moon. Fuck is
But
going
we're gonna have
on?
free college.
Yeah, that's gonna do it. This is the dawning of
Peter doesn't know this. This is a little. Peter's like, oh, do you know it? Okay, all right, I'm sorry.
I'm a 40-year-old virgin.
Okay, oh, that's why.
Yeah,
Joey, you know this? Okay, I just, dating everybody.
We're not that old, Karen.
No, we're not.
Here comes the change if I'm correct. There it is.
I can see Joe dancing here.
Bob?
I mean Bob. Joey's not dancing. I mean Bob.
I love you, Mama.